Okay, here we go. Hello, I'm Ron Roel, the host of 45 Forward. As we get older, most experts agree that there are four key components to healthy longevity: daily exercise, a healthy diet, maintaining strong social connections, and building what's known as our brain's cognitive reserve. You know, engaging in intellectually stimulating activities like keeping your brain sharp. And it's this last category that's particularly interests me because in our later retirement years, we tend to, well, retire our brains. The good news, of course, is that there are lots of ways to continue exercising our brains, including one really fun way: word games. Which brings me to today's guest, Bonnie D. Graham, who is a whiz at challenging online games and puzzles. Bonnie is going to tell us all about a few of these popular games, how they can benefit our minds and social lives, offer tips, shortcuts, and advice on how we can play to win. But first, before we do that, before Bonnie puts on her game face, it's important to put her gamesmanship in perspective, all right? Because she's much more than a gamer. Bonnie D, aka Radio Red, is a veteran radio personality, producer, and moderator who has created and hosted more than 60 thought leadership series over the last 15 years, reaching millions of global listeners.
Millions.
I got to know her last year when she was doing a series of shows about women and groundbreaking careers, and discovered that Bonnie was an early woman in tech, beginning her career as a mainframe programmer and corporate systems liaison, translating computerese into plain English. Today, Bonnie blends technology, creativity, and humor, drawing on her multiverse background as a stand-up comedian, improv performer, MC, writer, drummer, and visual artist. She hosts several live streaming roundtable conversation shows, including Technology Revolution, The Future of Now, and the creativity show Read My Lips Radio, spotlighting positive AI innovation and the creative process. Oh yes, she also produces Say What? Good News, and We Dish, Saucy Dame and Cool Dude, bringing lively, insightful conversations to diverse audiences. I personally experienced Bonnie's high energy and curiosity, meticulous preparation for her shows, and signature scarlet mic, which you can see right there, including her unforgettable rhyming bio she does for her guests. All of which I'm sure has contributed to her considerable skills at word games. I'll tell you more later about how you can find out more about Bonnie's shows, but for now, let's move forward with Bonnie's own simple mantra: onward. So Bonnie, welcome to 45 Forward. Let the games begin.
Thank you, Ron. I put on my dark glasses. I was going to say, are you talking about me?
I'm talking about you.
We don't want the brains to retire. I actually, I don't use medication for anything. I'm probably one of the few homes in my community that has nothing more than Pepsid there's no medicine cabinet anymore. But I actually, and we're not going to talk about this today in our list, Ron, but I use Words with Friends at night on my laptop in bed to just bring me down and relax me and go to sleep. And I have over 50 games I play every night with about 8 people around the world, people I don't know and I've never met. And that's another thing I would recommend. But what would you like to talk about first?
Well, just a little bit about, you mentioned that there are lots of benefits. What are some of the specific things that, I talk generally about improving your cognition, but
Well, first of all, I met you. I didn't meet you in New York on Long Island, but my mom and I had a show on public access TV based in Great Neck called Senior Moments, the Happy Ones. And we were featured on the front page of Act Two, the pullout section in Newsday newspaper. And you were, the creator and editor of Newsday and Act Two. But we never met then. And then
yeah.
I met you when I had a show on Voice America Radio a couple of years ago called Next at the Mic. That's when I met you, and you were on my show. Do you remember
Right.
that?
That's right. I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you're one of my cool dudes. You were one of my cool dudes last year. I had
That's right.
55 cool dude shows. Yes, those were one-on-one conversations. So I believe several things happen when I do the puzzles. Number one, they're organizational, they're strategic. I have a strategy and tactics for doing them. But to me, it engages the mind, the brain, away from everyday CRAP. It's like, did I buy the milk?
Right.
And I don't have a dog, but did the dog get walked and all that good stuff. It's a way of focusing on one specific thing. With Wordle, it's, oh my goodness, I'll show the puzzle in a minute, but it's
Right.
5 blanks across times 6 down. You get 6 tries, no hints, no clues. You've got to figure out a way to put words together that will give you clues as to where the right letters are and where the right positions are.
Yeah.
That is, to me, Ron, one of the most, and I've got you doing Wordle now, haven't
Yes,
I?
you do. And you know what I figured out too?
What?
I thought, I like to say like, oh, I can do this and I can multitask and I can watch TV and watch them.
Nope.
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 You can't. You got to focus. So that's
It's
really it's a
focus.
good practice.
That's a good point. Focus. Then there's connections, which gives you 16 clues. And you have to figure out how there's a theme to 4 different groups and group them into the 4 groups and then select them on the screen. I do my own sidebar, I'll call it. I create a Word document where I can do all the puzzles in that document before I transfer them online and do them actually in the puzzle. Wow. So I keep track. So it's a strategy I've developed, but it makes me happy to keep track. And for Wordle, let's go back to Wordle. I keep a vocabulary list because let's say I use a word, and let's say it's a 5-letter word would be hello, Hello, okay? I would want to know, in the 3 years I've been doing Wordle, I would want to know if that word was ever one of their selected words. Why would I use again and waste 5 letters? I mean, that's silly. So a clue, should I tell them what my start word is?
Sure.
Adios.
Adios.
Aid or adieu. You want as many vowels as possible in that word. And then you strategize. Did any letters hit? Do you get a green? A green light in a box means the letter's in the right place. I think it's yellow is the other color, means it's in the word but in the wrong place. Right. So you are jockeying around 5 letters. I do a Google search, 5-letter words with as many letters as I know, and I might get 200 words. Well, that means I don't have enough selected right words. I might get 25, 50. If I get 50, I put them into a separate Word document, and then I go through my used vocabulary list. Most people won't do it. I have a friend who just does it on her phone, and she does really well. That's not how my mind works. And then I'll, if the A in adios wasn't selected, then all the words that start with A or include A, I delete from the list. And then I go through what could be a possibility, and then is there a word I really, really like that I think might do it? And then you just keep trying, and you hope to get it before you use up 6.
Well, one thing people need to know, Bond, right, is that Wordle never uses the same word twice. So that's
Correct.
one thing people need to know that. Yeah.
That's why I have my vocabulary list, because I don't want to. And there are a lot of letters in the alphabet, of start letters, that have very similar words. Juice and juicy both have been used. Oh. Now, if you thought that U and I and E were in a word, and juice, don't use it. I know that it's already been used, so I wouldn't use that. So that's Wordle, and then you get a little score at the bottom. It says share, and you share it, and I'll show that in a few minutes in the PowerPoint.
All right.
And then I send it on text, SMS, to you and 3 other friends who share their scores with me. And that's the fun of playing with other people and seeing who gets it, right?
Except I never get it before you do.
I think you got it on 3 or 4 last week on one day, and I did too.
One day, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, you're getting there.
I'll take it.
You're getting there. And then there's Strands, and I love Strands because Strands is, what is it in the newspapers that it's like a word jumble, right? It's a bunch of letters in, I think it's 8 across times 10 down. It's a bunch of letters, and they give you the name of the theme, but sometimes it's joke. It's a sarcastic look at the theme. It's not literal. So you think, are these 5 words about a movie? Are these 5 words about sports? You have to figure out so you stare at the board and you say, I see a word. And you click on the letters so that they connect, and then you hit enter, and you see if it comes up. If it says not today or not here, then you've used one of your words, and it gives you, after I think 4 tries, or 5 tries, it gives you hint. My goal is never to use the word, never to use the hint.
Okay.
But it won't tell you what the word is. It'll circle the letters in the word, and you still have to figure out the order they're in. But what happens is, when you hit on the theme word, it's called the spangram, and it lights up yellow on the board. And then you know you're on the right theme. Okay. That is a lot of fun, and that's literally staring at letters and looking for words that have to be contiguous. You can't do a letter here and a letter five squares away.
Okay.
Do you play Strands yet?
I haven't played Transit. I've played Connections, but not. And Connections, I think, is tricky. We're going to
It's
see some of these. You're going to put it up.
It's very, very tricky. And the other one I do that I have a lot of fun with is the New York Times Mini, Mini.
Mm-hmm.
And I have done it in actually 40 seconds. That's my personal best.
Okay, that's
And I did it in 1 minute, 1 second the other day. And Saturday, it's twice as big a puzzle. So you put in the letters, you get all, it looks like a regular crossword puzzle. And you put in the letters, and then you see if they're right. And if you get one or two wrong, it'll say, almost there, nice try. And then you get a score. And I have a friend named Nancy who can get it in 50 to 56 seconds almost every day.
Wow.
And I tell her she's a robot. she's a mini beast, but I do pretty well with the mini. So should we do a share?
Yeah,
Should we
let's do screen shares so people can
take
see
a
and
look?
visualize it.
I'm really happy to see you, by the way. You and I go back a couple of years, and I have great admiration for what you do with 45 Forward.
Yeah.
It's I like your newsletters. I like your topics. I admire the people you have on the show, and I'm happy you invited me back. And by the way, this platform doesn't like green screen, so I have a green halo, but I'm no angel, so just
Well, I
wanted you
think
to know.
that also, we were talking in about what things keep people active and vital as they get older, and I know you do games a lot, and that's how it happened. We said, well, come on and do games, do a little fun show
Absolutely,
for us.
absolutely. Well, we're going to share the screen here. Let me see how this is going to work. Let me do screen, and let's see where we are. Blah 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 blah. 1 second window. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. Can you see that now?
I
Yes.
can. There we
Okay,
go.
good. So I've just prepared a little PowerPoint for you, and PowerPoint now has a design function that's kind of cool. I didn't put all these little figures together. It created those for me, and my alternate name is AK Radio Red. So let me go to the second slide. Life's a puzzle. Okay, and here we go. This is Wordle. All right, you're looking at my screen, right? Yes, I
Right.
see us. There we are. So Wordle, look at the puzzle on the left. 5 boxes across, 6 down. The alphabet is below, and the word enter, and the backspace X on the bottom right.
Right.
Blank slate, no clue, no hints, no suggestions. I suggest starting with a vowel-packed word. I don't have any ideas here, but I do start with adios. Focus on the matches and the excluded letters. I keep a list of used words. You'll get the hang of it. And I celebrate. So you can see my score there for puzzle number 1. I haven't done 1,706. That's where they are in the history of the game. I got it on 2. You like that, Ron?
That's an amazing get. Yep.
That was a lucky guess. And the other one I showed you 2 days before that, I got it on 3. I typically get it on 4. But if everybody's looking at the screen, the green means, so the first word is adios. So that means there's an I in the 3rd position on that word. The O and the S are 4th and 5th, but they're in the wrong place. So I know that I would have to find a word that has IOS with the I in the middle, but it can't have O in the 4th and S in the 5th. So I went through a list, and I think it was a lucky guess. Are you impressed?
I am impressed.
Okay. Shall we go to the next one?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. This is Strands. This is what I was talking about. Now, you see that there was the theme that day was, it's a little much. I hadn't started it yet, so it says 0 of 6 words found. If I find a wrong word, it will light up the word hint with a 1, meaning I'm close to being entitled to a hint. Okay? So you look and you stare at the grid,
Right.
and you try to find words that make sense for the theme. It's not easy, but after a while, you'll get the hang of it and it'll make sense. You have the theme. You could look up the theme. Was there a movie on that theme? A little much? Was it over the top? Is it extraordinary? Is it excessive? Think of words that go with it's a little much. And that's how you solve it. You can see a scorecard there I have, Strands number 7. I solved that I solved it without any hints. And the yellow means on the 4th word I entered, it was the spangram, whatever it was for it's a little too much. That's the theme word. It's not exactly it's a little too, it's another word or phrase. The theme can be literal or not. You have to focus on the entire board, look at all the letters, see what aligns. Now, the spangram touches two borders, so it would start at either the top, the left, the right, or the bottom, and then it would go, the letters would stretch to another border. So it has to go across. It could be, Ron, it could start with across the top and go all the way down on the right-hand side. But it has to touch two borders. It starts at a border and ends at a border, or it goes diagonal right down the middle. But it starts at a border and ends. That's a clue. You can Google the theme if you're lost, and you can use the hints. But when it gives you a hint, it circles the letters in the word without telling you what the word is. So you have to still figure it out. What do you think?
So in this one, Bonnie, so it's a little much. Can you give me an example of one of the words that you... In this?
I'm trying to remember. Okay, I think we have here surplus. See surplus?
Surplus. Oh, wow.
Right there at the top right. Can you see my mouse turning
Yeah, I
going
can,
around
yep.
there? That surplus would be a word. Now here's excess, excess at the top.
All right.
Okay? There. That's how you look for words. That's
Okay.
how you look for words. Very interesting. And it's
Tricky,
I
though,
like
isn't
it because you have the theme, but it isn't always literal. And sometimes you're thinking it's one thing and it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, should
You
we go
gotta
to the
think
next
a
one?
little out of the box, and literally, in other words, you can cross over, and it's not like up or down, horizontal or
No,
vertical.
the letters can be in the middle of this whole thing, and they can be, you just have to look. I think overkill might have been one. I'm trying to see if there's, I see kill in here, Kill, but I don't see over close to it, so it wouldn't be overkill. But I don't have the list of those words. But you see excess, excess, and surplus, surplus. Now remember, if you think you have a word, you can't strand one letter that's not picked because it won't belong to anything else. So that doesn't work.
And unlike Wordle, so there's no like limit to the number of letters.
Say that again.
Like Wordle has, Wordle has 5 letters.
This usually has between 6 and 8 words that you
Okay.
have to find all the words before you get to the score.
Okay.
So in this case, there were 6. You see the bubbles at the top here? There were 6 words, and it'll say found 4 of 6, 5 of 6. So it tells you how many are left. That way you can look at the letters
Okay,
left.
okay.
Oh, there's 2 words left in there. That
Got
helps. Okay? Ready for the next one? Let's go to connections. Okay. This was an example, and there are my statistics at the top. 616 games completed. God help me. 100% current streak is 24. The maximum streak was 115. I had 564 perfect puzzles. And now I keep a list in my Word document for my own colors. I don't have yellow, purple, blue, and green, but I have 4 different colors, and I say group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. I copy all these words into my document so that I can look at them, I can sort them alphabetically, I can move them around, and then I try to figure out what are the groups. So you can, what I typically do, and I was told, see the word shuffle underneath the board there, Ron?
I do.
I hit shuffle 5 times. That way you don't want to be thinking in terms of the random grouping they gave you. So I would shuffle it maybe until I get the word air in the top left. Just my preference. And then I would copy them, and I do a funny thing for my brain. You're going to laugh at me. Don't laugh. Well, you can laugh. I say the words out loud.
Yeah.
Because that means I got them visually, I typed them in, and I said them right to make sure I've got them right. So I would say, for example, drill. I might go across in my list. Judas, drill, quality, butterfly. Then I'll skip a line and I'll type in French, bench, air, ripple. Then I'll do snake, snowball, trader, manor. Then domino, printing, impression. To me, this puts the words into my mind and I'm thinking about them.
Yeah.
And then I try to find what the groups might be. This one I got perfectly. So I got the 4 words that belong to whatever the yellow was. It could be something like homophones, words that are sound alike.
Yeah.
It could be last night it was words that have the name of a food that are not edible. Sorry. It was the name of a town in Germany, Rheinsberger. But that's from somebody who lives there. It was knuckle sandwich. You don't eat a knuckle sandwich. So it was 4 words that had a name of a food plus another word that was
Right.
not meaning something edible. So you have to find them. Have you tried? You've tried connections.
I
What do you think
have.
of it?
This is tricky. There was one I got with a couple of them, and then I was stumped. And I'm not sure I would have gotten it. I mean, one of the groupings was, I think, something like celestial bodies with an add letter at the end. So star was stare. So
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
it was just like, whoa, I don't. So you have to really think differently.
yes.
Again,
Think
sort of
differently.
outside the normal linear thinking. You got to think sideways, up and
Absolutely.
down, diagonally.
But
Yeah.
here's something else. If you get 12 of the words and you have 4 left over and you're very confident on the 12, the 3 groups, there's a good chance the 4 words are connected somehow and you don't even have to think about what it is, just put them into another group.
Yeah.
If the leftover 4 words could be their own group, but you could look at the leftover and say, did these make any sense? Do these belong together? Yes. Find something, and then you know they don't need to be moved anywhere else. That's one of the strategies for that. Let me see if I have one more. Oh, the mini. Just to show you, this is what a solved mini looked like, and it had 9 across clues and 7 down clues, and this one I solved in 45 seconds, and this was Thursday the 26th of February. So I put the score there. So you can see they're fairly simple, lacking locks. Well, that's yeah, I know. Lacking locks means no hair. That's bald. So it doesn't mean an open door. You have to think, Ron, again outside the box. These are sarcastic. Hard thing to leave on a cold day. The word is bed. You don't want to get out of bed on a cold day. So very, very interesting. The slightest bit, 9 across, a tad. Well, we don't normally speak that way, but that's the way it is. So the trick to this is don't panic and start looking up clues. Fill in what you know, and then the other ones may be obvious.
Yeah.
That's the trick to speed on this.
Yeah. That's still pretty fascinating. That I'm not used to this kind of. I don't do crosswords, so. But if you do crosswords, yeah, but it's still pretty good. 45 seconds. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, yeah.
Not a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
time to waste.
No time to waste at all. Now I have to figure out how to stop sharing here. Let's stop. There we are. We're back. So what do you think?
Well, I think it's a really good tool for a lot of people, and it's obviously there are different different rituals. I think
Techniques.
that one of the things about it is that, as you've said, it's social. It's not just cognitive; it's social engagement, and I think
Yeah.
that's the part of it is sharing with friends and family, and a little competition, but a little just sharing and like, wow, did you get that was a tough one,
I agree with that. I'm going to see if I can find an example here. I'm not going to share the screen, but let me see what I've got here. Connections. Okay. This was from February 25th. Here, for example, words that contain a group name, and the 4 words were napkin, K-I-N, a group, alkaline, line is a group, diatribe, tribe, and the Scottish name Declan, D-E-C-L-A-N, had clan. Now, come on, that's not easy to come up with. Then another one was James, and these were 4 people named James who were famous, and you had to pick the last names. James Cook, Dean, Hardin, and Brown. At first glance, you saw Cook, Dean, Hardin, Brown. You said, what do those have to...
Right.
James. If you know James Dean, James Cook, that came to mind. Another one was starting out. The 4 words were principal, basic, key, and primary. Okay. And then the 4th group was to care for, and the words were baby, mother, nurse, and foster. That's an example.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay?
So you do need to think in different ways. So sometimes there are synonyms, but
Yep.
often they're just different kinds of things that are in the same category. And
Yep.
then there are homophones, as you mentioned, and just the people who share one name, the first name. But it's just like, so you really got to think in lots of different directions. So it does create a certain facility in your brain, that's for sure.
And I do it every night after 7 o'clock because I use an AI art app. Don't think badly of me, and I create little scenes of teddy bear friends. It's just something I do using different filters, different scenes. They're on a beach, they're flying kites, they're playing Scrabble, they're writing poems in the park, and I share those with friends who have children, grandchildren, and I share them with friends like you, just because they're fun. But as soon as 7 o'clock comes, I can go in for the next day's credits to do my little drawing, and it's prompted, it's text prompted, and after that I will do my Wordle, Strands, Connection, and Mini. I do it in the same order every night, and I have my document that I have on the side for writing down where I'm going with it and what my scores are. I like to track it. Not everybody does. What do you think?
Well, I think if you track it, then it gives you something to really hold on to and follow. So I think it's just not sort of random. Like, well, today I'll do it, today I won't. So what happened? What would happen if you changed the order of them? Did it?
Nothing. It's just
Okay.
just my ritual, but absolutely nothing. I've thought about it. I used to do a puzzle named Blossom, and it was basically a flower with a letter in the middle and 6 letters around it. I think it was a total of 7. And you had to come up with as many words as you could, but they highlighted one of the letters around the outside. And if you used that letter multiple times in the word, and the longer words, you got points. They scored you. And it was very interesting that I always, in the beginning, oh my God, I have to get the high scoring words and the biggest words. And you want to like lollygag or something. You want to, if it had L and O, you always have to use the middle letter. But after a while, I realized it was taking so much time that I stopped doing Blossom.
Okay. Yeah.
So I like to give about 30, 40 minutes a night to my puzzles
All right.
after a long day of work. But we forgot to mention something. You want to know what also is nice about it?
Go ahead. What?
It's fun.
Well, that's yes. You don't have to learn a foreign language to stimulate your brain.
No. I find it's discipline, it's strategy, it's a challenge, it's social sharing with other people. I share it with my daughter and you and a couple of friends, and it becomes a little mini community thing based on with whom you share it and how many people you share it. It's not sometimes it's bragging rights, but I started doing it, and the funny thing is, Words with Friends I started many years ago because I read that some actors were doing it, and I didn't know what it was, like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and I just started doing it, and I look forward to it, and I'll do it at 11, 12, midnight at night in bed. First, some people read a book, some people listen to music, some people meditate. I just put my laptop on my tummy here. I'm not my laptop, my iPad. I have the big one, and I put on Words with Friends, and I just start doing the puzzles. But I'm really annoyed because there's a woman named Lynn in the UK who is now doing over 25 games with me every day, and I like the variety of different personalities.
Wow.
So I have a Jason in California, and I've got somebody named Maddie the Great, and I've got somebody named I don't know. I've got a couple of people, a couple of men, a couple of women names. I have no idea who these people are, but we are loyal. And the fun thing is, once in a while on a Saturday, Jason, who's 3 hours earlier than me, he's in California, I'm on the East Coast of the United States, he will be playing while I'm playing, and we play live, back and forth. So I'll put in a word in Words with Friends, and he'll answer it right away. We can go for 20, 30 minutes playing live with it. And there's a chat box on the side. There's a little chat feature. So I find that very exciting to be playing live with somebody like that.
Much better than playing war games and sharing those kinds.
But that's why
this is the safe social media, so I like it.
Yeah, that's why I like the puzzles, and it has become a ritual. And
the more you talk to people, I guess Wordle has been just a sensation, right? I mean, I've been at meetings where someone will say, "Well, I just finished my Wordle," and someone says, "Oh, you did Wordle today?" And clearly people. So it is an interesting connector in many ways.
Yes, it's almost a badge. It's a badge of I'm playing online games, and I'm not afraid to use words and language. You have to have a certain facility with language, of course, to understand words. But I've noticed that there seems to be a theme recently in Wordle. Let me go get one of my scores out and tell you. I'll give you some of the recent words. You want to hear them? You got time for this?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what the recent word. And I put in the dates, so I saved the dates from the birthdays in my family. It's kind of silly. So I got a 3 on the word flower, Flour, and then I got a 4th on the word matte, Matte. Then a couple weeks later, the word petal, P-E-T-A-L. Then we had amuse. Then we had nylon. Then ideal. Then limbo. Then rabid. Awoke. Short. Waxen. Now here they're getting negative. Listen. Short. Waxen. Spiny. Chide. Mooch. Hoist. Dizzy. And fluke. Those are a couple of the recent words, and I find that theme, it's almost a darker theme, and it's not supposed to have a theme in Wordle. So if I have a choice of 5 words where the letters all would go with what I think I know where they go, I would pick the one on the slightly darker theme first. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to look for themes in this, but I do.
I wonder how many 5-letter words there are in the English language. Do we know?
Oh, must be millions. You want me to find out?
Well,
Let me see.
sure, why not?
How many
And with
5-letter
that,
words?
How many games?
How many 5-letter words in English language? Okay, 14,000, approximately 14,000 5-letter words in the English language. Okay?
All right.
Only 14,000. There you go.
That's not that many. In other words, I mean, I don't know how many Wordle games have been played so far.
Well, according to Reddit, somebody says it's 12,478.
Oh.
Okay, and somebody else on Rosetta Stone says it's 12,915. And Quora says 12,478. And Word Finder says there are 158,390 words. See, there are sites that will tell you the common words versus ones that will give you words nobody uses.
Okay.
Really derivative words that nobody would ever, we don't even know how to pronounce them. So you want to go, if you're putting in 5-letter words with I in the middle and O and S in any position, that's how I word it, I could get 20, 30, 200 words.
Right.
And then I decide if it's worth my time to sift through them. But I like the strategy. I like the mathematical analysis. I like to look at the words and see what I think where they would go. To me, it's a whole strategy. It's a whole game.
So, if people were just starting out, any recommendations? What would you start out with if you're just a beginner? I mean, I started with Wordle. I thought it was okay. I mean,
Yep. I would start out with Wordle. I think connections might be a little bamboozling in the beginning, although the theme is there. Strands is fun because they give you the theme, but it can be a funny take on the phrase.
right.
So you have to figure it out. I might start out with Strands, actually, because you're looking at it's a finite number of letters in the box. And it's not like, oh my God, I need to come up with 5 letters. I don't know what to do. If you look at it, you can start to see patterns, like in a word jumble in the newspaper people used to do. You can start to see, and you start to see a word and then another word. You say, oh, maybe that's the theme. So I might start out with Strands.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So before we go, just a little refresher on your multiverse of podcasts. Let people know a few of them that are coming up.
Multiverse. Well, the one I'm sitting in front of, if everybody can see, it's Say What? Good News. And I started this January 1st. It's about 4 minutes a day, every weekday morning. I have a part-time job doing online moderation for high-level technology courses, and those are 5 hours at a time. So if they start at 9:30 in the morning, I might do my Say What at 7:30 or 8 in the morning. It's 4 minutes. I have a separate YouTube channel. It's Say What? Good News with Bonnie D. And I've done... I don't know how many, January, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm up to about 40-second show every weekday morning, and people are enjoying it, Ron.
Yeah.
I'm hearing from people on LinkedIn who are seeing it, hearing it, watching it. I haven't heard from them in years. It's bringing people out of the woodwork, so that's very social. I also have my Technology Revolution, the Future of Now show, where I feature a panel of 3, what I call them futurists. These are analysts, authors, business leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, you name it, and we talk about the future of an industry, a business niche, a global trend, or a creative genre. I recently did the future of authors and AI plus AI. We don't talk doom and gloom. We don't talk about AI wiping us all out and taking away our we talk about the opportunities and benefits of AI used positively, thoughtfully, with people in mind. And so that's an hour, and that's fun. And then on Monday night, I have my show called The Creativity Show, Read My Lips with AKA Radio Red. And that's typically authors, but not always. I just booked 40 people at the National Publicity Summit, and that's 3 people a week, so it's about 150 a year. And it's a round table talking about our shared and unique creativity. What do we do? Do we garden? Do we cook? Do we write? Do we sew? Do we travel? What do we do that creates our unique life?
Right.
When it's an author, it's typically where do they write? When do they write? How do they write? That kind of thing. But I help people pull that out of the woodwork and think, and we discover what we have in common and what we have differently.
Right.
So very, very fun. And those are the shows. Oh, plus We Dish, cool, a Saucy Damon, Cool Dude, and I had 55 cool dudes, including last year I had the Cool Dude Hall of Fame. And I'm slowing down on that one a little bit, but I've done a couple this year. So that's all.
Slowing down.
That's all.
Well, so you don't have a word show, but you've got plenty of thought-provoking shows, and I think that's
I hope so.
equally important as we get older, is to keep that brain going.
Wait a minute. Are we getting older? Did I miss that class?
You missed that class, yes. Very slowly, very incrementally. But it happens from the day we're born. So.
I guess so. I guess so. I'm just not going to go there. That's all. But Ron, it's always a delight speaking with you. You're a very smart, savvy, interesting host and gentleman and friend, and I'm very honored that you invited me on your show today. And I hope your listeners enjoy it.
It's a pleasure, Bonnie. Thanks for coming on, and we'll spread the word, the words.
The Wordle. We'll spread the Wordle with friends.
With friends.
And we'll make connections, right? And we won't leave any strands unattended.
Little strands across the universe.
Strands of connections among friends and Wordle. I like it. See what we just came up with. We'll do our own puzzle. And by the way, I think on Wordle you can create your own puzzle. Somebody did that recently. It's create your, yes, you can come up with a theme and you can actually create your own puzzle. You can find that on the website. And these are all free.
Great.
So, okay.